going on, Jerome's beautiful Monday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So the major story that broke last night was Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins. They got it done. Matching 4-year contracts. Well, not matching on the money. Matching on the length. So Ja'Marr Chase, Jordan Schultz report. He actually broke this before Pelissero. Breaking. Bengals wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins exclusively tell me they've agreed to contract extensions with the team. 2 wide receivers at the same time, man. Ja'Marr gets 4 years, $161 million with $112 guaranteed, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Now, if you just go by pure guarantee, Jefferson's was $110 total guarantee, and Chase just had to go, well, $112. But in the grand scheme of things, with the cap going up precipitously, T. Higgins gets 4 years, $115 with the first 2 years guaranteed, making him the highest paid wide receiver 2 in NFL history. Not if you count Brandon Ayuk as a wide receiver 2, which we do. But the Higgins deal is important if the Vikings look to re-sign Addison down the line, but we'll see. And it's so weird, right? Because Ja'Marr Chase is just so obsessed with getting paid more than Justin Jefferson. Like, it's so... Ja'Marr, you've been to a Super Bowl, but your focus is just making more than Justin Jefferson? Okay, but we'll see what the cash flow looks like here. But thank heaven that the Vikings took care of Justin Jefferson, right? And again, the amazingness of this contract, 4 years, $140, $35 million average, $110 guaranteed, lack of drama, no social media sniping, nothing like that. No. And with the Bengals, so you're worried now because with Burrow and Chase and Higgins, they're averaging about average per season is about $125 million. So that's half the cap. I don't know. I know that people allude to, well, this is how the Colts were built with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning. No, like this doesn't seem. This reminds me of the Cowboys too, where they drag it out as long as possible and then they pay the highest amount possible. With Ja'Marr Chase getting to his 5th-year option, having to franchise tag Higgins twice. Yeah, it's just really dumb, but it's okay. Again, thank heaven we got Justin Jefferson. He's happy. And Jefferson is the type of player that's like, hey, he signed the deal. He's not going to be chirping for money just because, Ja'Marr Chase got more. Whereas there are some wide receivers that would bother them. Now, Jefferson is all about winning a Super Bowl. And that's what he's focusing on, not getting paid more than anyone else, which is good. Also good, hey, Jordan Mason. Per Persuasion, only 2 players rushed for 100-plus yards against Brian Flores on the Vikings 2024. Jahmyr Gibbs, because of Beasley. And also Jordan Mason. And Mason against the Vikings early in the season last year, 20 for 100, 5 yards of carry, and a touchdown. And this final score was a lot closer than the game really was. I mean, the Vikings whooped somebody's ass, although Aaron Jones fumbled at the 1. But I think this is a phenomenal move, picking up Jordan Mason. Basically, I mean, pick swap, whatever, but that 6th-round pick that you got from Houston for Ed Ingram, putting that thing to work. Again, Kwesi deserves his plaudits and his flowers. He essentially traded Ed Ingram for Jordan Mason. It's great. And I think the Vikings run game is going to get after things. I love what Aaron Jones can bring with Jordan Mason. Plus, Mason just brings that tough nose running. He's great in outside zone, and he will punch you in the face. It's going to be fantastic. And, hey, that guy played well against the scouting wins yet again. All right. Also, Josh Metellus. Jumping Josh Metellus. So, Cameron Beasley-Bynum got paid somewhere else. They signed Theo Jackson to a eerily similar deal to Josh Metellus, where Metellus is on a very cheap contract, and the Vikings, they could freshen that up just a little bit. But Metellus tweeted out, crazy how I ain't got a highlight tape from last year. Well, the thing, Joshua, safety, slot, linebacker, off-ball linebacker, you have too many highlights. Like, there's not enough storage in the world to put together your highlight tape from 2024. That's how good you were. Like, I love me some Josh Metellus, the pride of Michigan. Hail to the... but Metellus, I do think that Metellus extension is coming because he's in the final year of that 2-year contract that he signed 2 years ago. And, again, it was a smart move by Kwesi. Just like Theo Jackson, pay them before they become a starter and before they break out. That's exactly what the Vikings are doing with Metellus. That's what they did with Theo Jackson, and et cetera. So Metellus deserves to have that contract freshen up just a little bit. And I'm sure that in terms of the Vikings, So we don't have the full cap details as of right now. It's about 30, but there's still a couple contracts that have yet to be filed, including Harrison Smith's. But Metellus, I mean, he is one of the guys who deserves to get paid a little bit as well. Also, as well as the draft. Oh yeah, hey, even though the Vikings basically could take the field tomorrow, and they could whoop somebody's ass. Like, they're a complete team right now, but of course, even though the Vikings only have 4 draft picks, you can go BP at 24, which is going to be fun. Vikes fan page. The Vikings are favored to select a cornerback with their first draft choice in April, according to DK Sportsbook. Any value picks you like here. So cornerback is plus 175, shortest odds. So you're looking at Hairston from Kentucky, Trey Amos from Ole Miss. I mean, you could go the route of Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame, who is a guy I like a lot. Ravel from East Carolina, if he's there. Cornerback does make sense. Offensive lineman, Gray Zabel, Booker, Jackson in that mix. Kelvin Banks and kicking him inside. Safety, Emin Wari is all up in there. D-line, edge. I mean, I kind of like that they combine D-line and edge. So basically, you have free reign there. Linebacker plus 1,200. I mean, Hadi Campbell, if he's there. But potential, as well as, I think that the best value here is tight end at 20 to 1, plus 2,000. Running back, wide receiver. I mean, wide receiver with Luther Burden III, potentially, could be kind of good. QB, kicker, punter, long snapper. That's just lighting money on fire. Like, who cares? But tight end at 20 to 1, Colston Loveland. The connection with J.J. McCarthy. You want your rookie quarterback to be feeling good, as well as you don't know what's going to happen with Oliver. Hockenson, got to prove it this year. I mean, it could make a lot of sense. And again, plus 2,000, 20 to 1, certainly will take it. So the theme of the last week has been noted insiders be like, I've heard something. Okay. Now, we don't claim to be an insider, but we do have a very trusting face, and it does sound like a decision on Bradbury is going to happen sooner rather than later. I mean, it broke last week that Garrett Bradbury is either going to be cut or traded, right? And obviously the Vikings and his $4.9 million base salary, nothing's guaranteed. So theoretically, the Vikings can hang on to him all through offseason, all through training camp, and then either cut or keep him at the end of the day. But with Bradbury, like, they're going to, even though they're moving on from Bradbury, the Vikings are going to do the classic thing and cut him if they can't trade him, right, soon, because free agent money is drying up and the draft is in a couple weeks, and he could miss out on a spot. And with Bradbury, there's going to be a demand. Atlanta, Indianapolis, the Rams potentially, the Patriots obviously. So I think that the Vikings want to do right by Bradbury and give him a chance to catch on, be in a full offseason program, and then have a spot and get paid before the rest of free agency as well as before the draft. And then he can be in training camp with that team, and that makes a lot of sense, right? But I do think that he has a little bit of trade value because his contract is not guaranteed. And even if it's just a pick swap, we will certainly take that at this point. I mean, again, Kwesi getting a straight-up 6th-round pick for Ed Ingram, I mean, that's a heist. And if Kwesi can get a little something for Garrett Bradbury, that's fantastic as well. And with Bradbury, if Kwesi can pull off that trade, build Kwesi the damn statue, it'd be good to go. Lastly, so I know the Lions fans are going to be in the comments about like, blah, 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 all that stuff. But 33rd team trade revisited. Who won this trade? The Rams got Stafford, the Lions got Jared Goff, and also the draft capital to get Gibbs, Laporta, Jameson, Melifalu, Broderick Martin, the pride of Western Kentucky, and Josh Paschal. So I still think that the Rams won this trade because the Rams won a Super Bowl and the Lions have not. And, hey, the Lions, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, stud. Laporta, stud. Jameson Williams is good for one big play every other week, as we all know from fantasy football, right? And Jared Goff, he's fine. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with Jared Goff. Is he a $55 million quarterback? No. Is he going to be fine without Ben Johnson? TBD. But there's a reason why Sean McVay just gave up on Jared. Like, Sean McVay, once he's done with you, he's just done. Whether it's Todd Gurley, whether it's Jared Goff, whether it's Cooper Kupp, whether it's whatever, right? And the Rams won this trade because they won a Super Bowl because of Kevin O'Connell, Wes Phillips, by the way, right? And the Lions, hey, the Lions can talk all they want, all the hype, all the bluster, all the media love. Their Super Bowl window is closed. They should have won it 2 years ago. If they didn't blow that lead against San Francisco, I think that the Lions blow the doors off the Chiefs that year. But the Super Bowl window's done. It's over because eventually you got to start paying dudes. Gibbs is going to be up for an extension after the season. Same thing with Laporta. They've already paid a couple of guys. Jared Goff is taking up a huge part of the cap. And also that brain drain. Losing Aaron Glenn, true leader of men of defense. Ben Johnson, whatever. Okay. Boy blunder. Yeah. But, okay. Keep telling yourself that you lost the trade or you won the trade. You didn't lose, right? And also, hey, I know that the Lions wasted Barry Sanders' career. Is there any talk at all that you wasted Matthew Stafford's career? Right? I've always respected Stafford. Gritty, gutty, tough as hell. And then the first season he's away from Detroit, he wins a Super Bowl. And he even had Megatron throughout part of that. But I digress. But it's okay. I am here for the downfall of the Lions. I understand that that's petty, but I won't back down. No, I won't back down. Also, watching the rise of the Vikings. Oh, that's nice too. Oh, and by the way, talk to any Michigan fan who's also a Lions fan. Actually, any Lions fan that lives in Detroit, whether they're a Michigan fan or they hate Michigan, they'll know. They know all about J.J. McCarthy, and they are pooping themselves right now. Right? J.J. McCarthy with this Avengers team, with an FU offensive line, with all the weapons with Jefferson, with the running game, with that defense, they're worried. They are super worried because J.J. McCarthy, once the governor is off that Harbaugh put on him at Michigan, baby. Can't wait, man. Anyways, that's it. Monday, Vikings news dump. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.